we're getting real close to that first arise. And if you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, shit's going to pop off real soon. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Spend More X Speaks. Make sure you smash the like button. It does a lot more for the growth of my channel than you know. And now let's get into it. We're going to talk about episode 3 of Solo Leveling. It was called It's Like a Game. And in this episode, we see the main character, Jinwoo. He wakes up in the hospital after the experience he had in the double dungeon. Now, we know what happened in that double dungeon. A lot of people died. He got messed up a lot. And at the very end, a screen popped up that said, like, would you like another chance? Your heart's going to stop in 0.2 seconds. And he hits yes. And it wakes him up in a hospital. And when he's in the hospital, he's greeted by two people from the Hunters Association. That's Woo Jin Chol and Kang Tae Sik. And these two are higher ups in the Hunters organization trying to see if he had a second awakening. And a second awakening is when a hunter unlocks more of their powers, kind of gives them a power boost and boosts them up in the rank. They weren't able to find any signs that Jinwoo did experience a second awakening, but he did. We know he did. We know he did so because he's seeing these like game servers. That's why it's called It's Like a Game. He's seeing these game boxes of missions and different things he needs to do to progress further in the story. He's getting points. He's getting distribution attribute points that he can put on different things. And we see him hit his Saitama grind. His first missions are strength training, and it's 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, run 10 kilometers a day. If he doesn't do these, he gets penalized. We saw him sleep it off after the first one popped up. He's like, I'm in the hospital, I'm tired, I'm not going to do that shit. And what happens? He gets transported to a different dimension and chased around by giant deadly centipedes. So that shit didn't work out too great for him. Going forward, he starts doing these. He starts doing the training, the strength training on the daily to build up not only his physical strength, but completing these quests give him rewards. They give him attribute points. They give him loot boxes. And at the end of it, he gets a loot box that has a key in it. And it's a key to an instant dungeon. So he's kind of worried. A lot of the people are experiencing trauma from the situation they were in the double dungeon. He doesn't want to go jump right back into it, but he said, I'm trying to get stronger. You get the backstory of why he became a hunter in this episode, where he has to pay off his mom's hospital bills because she's suffering from eternal sleep disease. So he needs the money, he needs the experience, he needs to get stronger to protect his family. He goes into this dungeon and it shuts behind him. He's in another dimension. There's people walking around, and he gets jumped by 3 goblins. He's scared at first because he's just by himself. He knows he doesn't have a healer, and he starts taking out the goblins. Once he realizes, like, okay, yeah, this is why I put these attributes into strength. This is why I distributed these attributes, is because I need to be able to take care of this. He handles the goblins with pretty slight work, takes care of 3 of them pretty easily. And then a stronger enemy pulls up. I think it was a Silverfang Lycan pulls up, and we see the episode end with the Lycan jumping at him, lunging at him, and that's where it cuts off. So all in all, it was a great episode to kind of provide some backstory and some world building. That's what it really did. This episode, it's not the most action-packed episode, but it provides a lot of the backstory. It shows you why Jinwoo is doing all this, because his mom is in the hospital and he needs to pay off her hospital bills. It shows you some of the backstory in the Hunter Association, that there's this governing body on top of the hunters, making sure they do different things, making sure they go different places, keeping tabs on crazy events like what happened in the double dungeon. They even said it, like, yeah, a hunter's job is pretty dangerous, but the kind of tragedy that we saw in this double dungeon doesn't really happen too often. So they're keeping tabs on strange events in the hunter world. They're keeping tabs on guys like Jinwoo, who could possibly be a second awakening in the hunter world. So you actually see 3 S-rank hunters in this episode. You see Choi Jong-in, he is the head of a guild, and he brings in another S-rank hunter in Cha Hae-in. He brings her into his office. He's trying to tell her to go out on a raid or do something. They need to build up the strength of the guild because they're preparing for something. He says, we have to be ready. And you don't really know ready for what? ready for a fight, ready for a war, whatever is going on. I mean, we know, if you read, you know, but you shouldn't know at this point. But that's two S-rank hunters kind of having a little powwow. And then earlier you see Bak Yun-ho, who is the head of the White Tiger Guild. You see him, you don't see him fight or anything, but they sent the White Tiger Guild in to check the double dungeon, and he's actually the one that found Jinwoo. So you see a couple high-rank hunters. You see what the Hunter Association does and how they keep tabs on different things. You get the backstory of why Jinwoo wanted to become a hunter, and you get his training. You get what he needs to do to get stronger, how he's going to continue to do this. He gets these quests. He's the only one that has this video game-like system. So you have a lot of backstory, a lot of world building in this episode, and it's going to pop off real soon. Like real soon. Like we're getting real close to that first arise. And if you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, shit's going to pop off real soon. I'm really excited with the pacing of this anime. I'm excited with how they have it going so far. And this was a needed episode. Well, like I said, it wasn't the most action-packed, but you got a lot of backstory, and I think that's important going forward. So that was episode 3 of Solo Leveling. I'm really excited to see what happens next week. But this is about to get crazy. This is about to get crazy. We're about to see one of the most OP protagonists in anime birthed. And I can't wait for it. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Appreciate y'all for listening. Stay tuned. Next week, it's going to be a great episode.